from Tampa Bay streaming news leader. This is ABC Action News.
Hello, I'm Sarah Penny. Starting your morning headlines with the latest after protests in Tampa Bay turned violent over the weekend. Tampa Mayor Jane Castor issued a citywide curfew yesterday following violence Saturday night. The gathering started as peaceful protests over police brutality and racial inequality, but things escalated. Multiple buildings were burned to the ground. Officers pushed protesters out of Curtis Hickson Park shortly after 9:30 last night. Police fired several rounds of pepper bullets at anyone who stuck around past the curfew. They arrested 2 protesters Sunday night. In St. Pete, protesters showed up for a second straight day in front of police headquarters. Close to 200 people held signs and chanted. Some protesters threw rocks and bottles at officers. Around 11 p.m., police used smoke and told the crowd to disperse. Officers arrested 14 people who refused to leave. WWE superstar Titus O'Neil weighed in on the protests on Instagram, saying it shouldn't fall on minorities to lead racism discussions. O'Neil says he feels people from all backgrounds must be willing to have uncomfortable conversations to bring about positive change.
So all I'm asking is that in the midst of this and prior history before this, be willing to be uncomfortable. Be willing to ask and have questions and give answers. And it's not, don't brush aside people's hurt and anger.
Sheriff Chad Chronister says there's much more work to do and people have a right to peacefully protest. In other news, the Florida Keys reopens to visitors today. It's one big step to help out the state's tourism economy. Hotels, campgrounds, and vacation rentals can open at 50% capacity. Airport screenings and bus restrictions will also be lifted. NASA astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken are now on board the International Space Station after they docked yesterday. The SpaceX Dragon capsule launched from Florida on Saturday. It's the first privately built and owned spacecraft to take astronauts into space. Now let's get over to Greg D with a look at the forecast.
Hello, everybody. Another hot and humid afternoon as we go through the day. Welcome back. Hope you had a great weekend. Temperatures today starting off in the upper 70s this morning, on our way to the low to mid 90s this afternoon. Look at that quick climb as we go through the afternoon. By noon, we're already going to be near 90 degrees. A couple of scattered clouds early in the day. Otherwise, I think more clouds in the afternoon as we watch an east wind that will pick up at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And that east wind will eventually bring us shower and thunderstorm chances, with the rain chances growing in Tampa, but not until late in the afternoon and the evening. So much of the day will be dry, but it will be hot with a feels like temperature that will likely approach the upper 90s. Your forecast in the app.